Hello and welcome to the Carbitrage Podcast, episode 310. I'm Eric Berger, joined as always by my co-host Ryan Sininsky.
That's me. Hi. I'm wearing a sweatshirt that I got for $20.
That's quite good.
Yes, it was on flash sale at PacSun.
Why did PacSun have a DeLorean Motor Company?
They actually made this too. It's a PacSun brand sweater.
So it's a newish thing.
I have no idea. But anyway, yeah, it's very cozy and it was $20.
That's a great price for any sweatshirt. So.
Speaking of more ages things, we were talking about my Commodore. I was learning more about how they're able to make these games that were you saw the Ghostbusters game, that's
technically too good to be running on that hardware.
It's technically an 8-bit game, but it looks as good as a 16-bit game. And so I was figuring out how they were able to do this, and the way they loaded the games onto the computer is the disk drive would load everything on the 5 1/4 floppy into RAM.
Okay.
And that's how it was able to just run everything. Is the entire game all at once was loaded 100% into the RAM.
That's an impressive amount of RAM. I mean, RAM was very
64
expensive.
kilobits.
Yep.
That is a massive amount of RAM from 1982. And so that's why that computer was able to be a functioning computer until 1994 when Commodore themselves went out of business before the Commodore 64 lost relevancy. Because they were still selling them. There's new old stock being sold that were people still wanted them.
And they were probably pretty inexpensive to produce and sell at that point too.
Commodore in 1982, it cost them $115 to make each computer, and they sold for $600.
Oh, geez. That margin's very good.
Extremely.
I'm surprised it was that cheap with that much RAM.
And so that's the thing is they made it in house, if I'm not mistaken, because they got burned on their typewriters early on. Really interesting story about the Commodores.
Back up. Commodore typewriters?
Yes. So Commodore was founded by a Holocaust survivor who started his first business by importing Czechoslovakian typewriters to the United States under the brand Commodore.
Okay.
And then after the Iron Curtain went up, he had to quickly find a new.
Is that what Ivan was typing on to you?
Maybe, yeah.
Okay. It probably was a Commodore typewriter.
Ivan, if you're wondering who Ivan is my little computer person. And Little Computer People was the proto Sims that Activision made in 1985 for
biggie.
Commodore. But Little Computer People has a really weird backstory. Is these are actual living humans that are stuck inside your Commodore because they got sucked into their computers during Y2K because they didn't reset the date.
That is a terrible premise.
I know, but it makes you care about them. Your sim matters. It's a real human. And
is this like a Gigapet where if you don't wake it up and feed it every now and then, it just kills it?
No, he'll be fine. But if you don't visit him for 30 years, he'll be out of food. You have to give him more food.
Oh, okay. Did you find any Little Computer People in there from the previous owner?
So this is the thing: is the Little Computer person. Each floppy has its own person on it.
Okay.
So, mine has Ivan and his brown dog.
I saw both of them.
Yes, Ivan wears a pink shirt or a fuchsia shirt, whatever the pink is on Commodore, and has blonde hair. But if say you had a copy of Little Computer People that wasn't a burnt copy of mine, you would have a different person. So every first party copy of Little Computer People had a different person. I think that's just really cool.
That's impressive that they were able to do that at scale, especially at the time. But I'm sure it was a fairly small code change to make that happen, but still.
Yeah, I think I imagine when you're pumping out the discs, you just have a random number generator,
right?
For the three different.
And that's probably what it is too. I mean, it's probably self-executing code that does randomly generate, and all that stuff, just throws away what's not relevant.
And then it just does that when they're writing the disk, and then you just have because otherwise having 256 different little computer people like haircuts.
Probably too big for the disc.
Yeah.
Or the tape or whatever it was
I don't know
originally
how
shipped on.
big a 5 1/4 floppy holds.
Well, it depends on the density. They maxed out, I think, at 768K, but the earlier ones, maybe they even got to 1.2 megabytes by the end of the high density, but I think the highest end ones were about
so 360 kilobytes to
So-
1.22. So yeah, you're actually right on the nuts. Wow.
I've
actually
had a lot of old computers in my day.
Huh. And then
But yeah, that should be a standard density, which is 360K.
yeah, so there you go. There you go.
Ivan, congratulations on fitting on a 360. Anyway, beer. I'm drinking a Colorado, well, actually a light Colorado Kool-Aid, not even the regular one, Coors Light. Ryan, looks like you've got one of
I've
our
got a
last
hams.
hammies.
Yes,
Excellent.
we need more hams.
Before we dig into the first topic, patreon.com/Carbitrage. On this super cool handcrafted Patreon page, you will find 3 open-ended levels of support starting at just 99 cents a month. You look like you have something to say, Ryan.
Little computer people can only be 64 kilobytes because they loaded onto the Commodore with no loading screens after initial load up.
That's a good point.
So he had to be within 64 kilobytes. Sorry.
No, that's fine. Patreon.com/Carbitrage if you want to help us out with some hosting fees and beer. Awesome. If not, no worries. Anyway, wow.
All right. Well, I'm going to start. This episode's called Malaise Part 2 Electrified Boogaloo because I was talking to Ben Shu, and he mentioned, he's like, I'm pretty sure we're in a second Malaise. And I'm like, you know what? I think so too. And to be fair, a second Malaise just means that, like, cars are kind of just stagnating.
Sure.
Like,
They're just not as innovative or interesting.
yeah, exactly. Most of my favorite cars are Malaise era cars. My favorite Mustang is a Malaise era Fox body. My favorite GTO is a 74 GTO. Like, yeah, I do like Malaise cars. So.
I'm not normally a huge fan of Malaise unless we're talking Germany, but
my favorite Buick Century is the Malaise Century.
oh my god,
1980 Century hatchback.
I'm glad there's a car for everyone.
You could get a 305 cubic inch V8 rear wheel drive 2-door hatchback.
That's so bad.
It's terrible.
Does it
stock.
have a bustle butt too? At least
Yes, it's a bustleback. Yeah, it's
Ryan, this
you should Google
awful.
it. It can just 1980 Buick Century hatchback. It's one of my favorite rear wheel drive American cars. Hatchback. So right there.
Oh.
Yeah, that's actually pretty cool. But
No.
you could also get it with 3.8 turbo.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah, so you could get like cool versions of these.
But that's definitely the milk and cigarettes dad didn't come home car.
Oh, that would actually be a Pontiac Can-Am. Yeah,
We've seen that too, but I mean, this is like
similar energy.
a couple cars were marketed to those delinquent fathers to
Yeah.
be, and I think this is one of those. Also, that pulled up on top 10 obscure special editions and forgotten.
Yeah, it's a really, really, really cool car. But so the stock setup on that Century is like not good by any means because it's like a 305, which is like 120 horsepower at the crank.
If even, right?
Like, it's terrible.
Especially because that's a smog era 305, I assume.
Oh yeah, no, it is the worst 305 that you could possibly have.
This picture is also from that same year, I think.
I think you just uploaded the thumbnail as usual.
I did.
I saw the.
I copied the image link. That's what I did.
All right. Well, anyway, I'm not too concerned because what you can do with this is since it has a normal carbureted 305, is any other American V8 will go in with no trouble.
Is it a Buick 305 though?
Yeah, but it's not fuel injected. None of the weird stuff from like the later 80s. It's literally just a muscle car with just packed with emission shit to get it to squeak past the line, and it's not good at all.
50 pounds of platinum underneath
Yeah,
it?
exactly. So you take the catalytic converter out.
Cadillac converter.
You take the Cadillac converter out,
you.
and you run a dual exhaust system. You could put like a 350, 383 crate engine.
Did it have a restrictor plate in it and like a 1.5 barrel carburetor?
No, I'm pretty sure it had a thermoquad, which is a 4-barrel carburetor, which is not good.
That's still, sorry, roadkill. That the Freiberger quote, the only carburetor that punishes you for going wide open.
Yeah, it's a thermoquad.
Actual words from Freiberger, and I still crack up every time I hear thermoquad just because I initially think of that. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure it's a thermoquad on it, which is terrible. But it's like, you could make that into actually a very good car. Like, you'll never ever handle well.
Just reminds me of like the Monza.
Yeah. No, it does. It's a Monza that's it's a bigger Monza basically. It's a Monza you can actually put a V8 into.
The Monzas came with V8s.
Did they?
They came with 305s.
Oh, that's cool. Anyway, so it's like a Monza but square.
The Squanza. Got it.
Yeah, Squanza. So I like it.
Why is that not the episode title?
Man, that's a good name.
The Squanza.
But anyway, we're not really talking about this car, but I do really want to like push the fact that it's a cool freaking car because it doesn't weigh anything. It's a hatchback. It has a V8. Like, it's a good drag car.
That's the era where cars looked heavy, but they were not.
It weighed nothing. Like, yeah, that's actually just a really good dragster.
That's a really good point. Almost
that's why I
everything
like it.
from the Malaise is actually pretty light.
Yeah, like, they're actually pretty cool. Like, there's a lot of weird shit that, like, happened. And then, like, all the weird shit that they did to, like, make things work. Anyway, Malaise cars. I want to talk about my proof that the second Malaise is happening.
All right.
Is during the Malaise, since you couldn't make a car actually good, you made it gimmicky, right?
Sure.
So, like, you wouldn't have, like, a better Lincoln Town car. You'd have a Cartier edition Lincoln Town car, which has, like, a Cartier clock in it, or a Bill Bass edition, which is...
And several oval windows.
Yes, you'd have opera windows and things like that. And...
Well, let's stack them.
Yeah, and, like, you'd have, like, convertibles that don't need to exist. And here we are with a convertible that does not need to exist. This is the Cross Cab Killer. It is a Toyota Crown Open.
That's what they call it.
Yes, it's a one-off convertible Toyota Crown.
Oh, they only made one.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Well, currently they should put it into serial production, because how many pillarless four-door convertibles have you ever seen?
One.
Yeah, it's the Kennedy Special.
Yes. The
There you go.
If they put coach doors, or sorry, suicide doors, because it would be a four-door. If they put suicide doors on this,
that'd be very cool. But I like it.
Production.
I like it without. It's a pillarless four-door convertible.
And you know what? We've found out from the Cross Cabriolet just how passionate the buyers of this particular type of vehicle are.
Yes.
So it would sell.
They're extremely enthusiastic enthusiasts.
I mean, it would sell very slowly, but it would sell.
They would sell several.
And the Facebook group
few.
would be amazing.
Yeah, no, because like these are also like the Cross Cab is the people's convertible two-door SUV, and this isn't a direct competitor. This is like what the Range Rover Evoque convertible should have been. It should have been this.
God, I forget about that piece of garbage. Oh, the Evoque convertible. And they were so expensive.
They were hideously expensive. They weren't nearly as good as a Cross Cab.
No.
But this one's better because it's the Toyota.
Oh, yeah, this one will actually work in the soft top.
Look at all these happy men.
I know.
That's actually in a Century, which I thought was funny.
The top photo is definitely the best one, but
yeah.
I did you see the not the Autopian? I think Autoblog also had something about this vehicle, but it's like the MR2 your mom says you have at home. I'm like, okay.
No, this is much better. I feel better about this. Like they've like totally destroyed the Crown name with the creation of this version, but whatever.
It's definitely
we are absolutely in a malaise. Like this is a
gimmicky.
This is a malaise ass vehicle.
It's
like,
very gimmicky. But I don't hate it. I hate SUVs, and like this is at least interesting.
Yeah, it's somewhere between an SUV and a sedan and a convertible. Like, it doesn't know what it is, but like it's based.
I want to learn about all the extremely explosive rollover protection bars that are in the back of this thing and how bad the storage space is. I want to learn all about its
Yeah,
quirks.
I want to know more about
I would like
this.
to know
like,
more.
I would like to see like a John Davis Motor Week review.
And what are they calling again?
It's literally the Cross Cab Open.
Just the Open.
Yep.
Okay. I mean, they've never had a car called that before, really, so...
Right?
Or
sorry,
Crown
no,
Open?
it's a Crown Open. Yes, it's called a Toyota Crown Open.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, they've never had that before, but I do really enjoy that Japanese brands will just give a car a basic name for a convertible. Mm-hmm. Like they don't come up with some silly thing. They don't call it a Spider. Like
Their descriptions are extremely literal.
Yeah, no, it's open. It's open top. So it's the.
What is this? Oh, it's an all-wheel drive, twin port injected turbo 12-valve DOHC.
Yeah.
And that's on the door? Yes, it is.
Yeah, it's like, well, the Scion, or the Toyota BB pickup truck is called a Toyota BB open deck because it's an open cargo deck. Also, those are eligible for import as of next year.
And I know how much you want a micro pickup.
Yes, I do. That's up there is a Toyota BB open deck.
It's almost as good a name as an RR.
Yeah, no, I really should get a wagon RRR. Because I need to have a Suzuki. I've never owned a Suzuki. I've come close several times, but I've never actually had one titled in my name. So I need to fix that.
RRR, you mad, bro? Won't fit on a plate. Damn it. Fine. That's too many.
Yeah, no, I need to come up with a silly name.
It would be incredible.
Yeah.
Anyway, considering companies ruining things with excellent names.
AR.
Oh, that's perfect.
R.
That's
That's
actually
a
really
vanity
good.
plate.
That's actually perfect. And it would even fit on one of the new black Minnesota plates, which oddly we haven't talked about.
No, we haven't. Let's talk about that very quickly, and
Yeah.
then we'll go on to your
Yep.
topic. How do you feel about them?
I just like how Minnesota told us about it, which is now Iowa has literally nothing over us.
Yes, that's pretty much it. Yeah, that's it.
If you PSA though to the Minnesota people, if you order one new as a registration with vanity, you're limited to six characters. But if you do a 7-character vanity plate on a standard plate and transfer it, then you can have 7 characters.
I have a question.
Okay, Ryan.
Now,
Yes.
can I have, when you have a 6-character vanity plate on a black plate, do you still have the little Minnesota logo in the
Yes.
center? Cool. All right, so I could have a P Club plate.
Please elaborate.
You've never heard of the P Club?
I don't think so.
They hand out plates with the prefix of PEE. And it's an exclusive 999 person club. And it's called the P Club. Because they have the P plates.
I regret and asking. Is that a thing here or somewhere else?
That's a real life thing in the state of Minnesota. Look
Oh.
at license plates when you're driving around. You'll see one of the exclusive 1,000 residents. Just under 1,000. 999 residents that will be graced with a P plate.
Now,
That's a plate I would keep forever.
there back in the day, Minnesota used to have the letters at the end. Are there also 999 more number P plates?
No, it's all to be in the P Club. You have to be P first. Just
okay.
can't pee out your butt.
Well, not with that attitude. Anyway, on that extremely odd note, remember
Oh, wait.
what?
I never gave you my take on the black plate.
Let's just go back.
Hang
All right.
on, but black plate. I think they're stupid because everybody I see that has one is like some bro or a very boring person with a stock 2.4 front wheel drive Jeep Cherokee.
And people with the black cars. I agree with you. I was really excited about this until I saw the first maybe 20 black plates on the road, and then I saw what they were on. I'm like,
I immediately was over it. I don't care.
not buying any. And they're $30 a year.
Ooh, don't like that.
A lot more.
I wish. Can you get a vanity plate with like one of those special like state parks plates?
Yeah.
I want a vanity plate. I want my spaghetti plate.
You can. You're limited, I think, to 5 characters though.
SPAGE.
SPGTI.
Maybe. I don't know. I'd have to think of something. Maybe I'll do it for a different car. I just want a license plate with a little B on it. That'd be really cute.
Just incorporate that into your vanity plate. It's a.
Oh, damn it! I could just get a B.
It's a
I could get a
B.
B plate and have it just say Buzz. BZZZZ.
Anyway, remember a few months ago we talked about the extremely rare prototype Lancia that was dipped into the drink?
Yes.
Now we know what that looks like. And honestly, I was only going to do the story about this Lancia because of the story we talked about previously, but it's actually pretty good.
It does look decidedly weird.
Look
yeah.
at the back, though.
I mean, I like the front. I like
the
it.
front's good, but the back is even better. Look at these taillights.
That looks quite good.
So it's designed to compete with the Volkswagen ID4, and this will do better. And I think it's great that we're going to
that's a
bring
low
some
bar.
recalls back to the Italians.
No, I'm here for it. Well, America needs more unreliable cars.
250-mile WLTP total range, and
Cool.
it looks spicy. It's Italian, and this one is not in the water.
Yep, I'm not mad about that.
No, it's
Are we
pretty
gonna
good.
get it?
No, we're not going to get the Epsilon. Nope.
Okay. I kind of want that.
It's
I
pretty
want. We need more rubbish cars.
This is
I'm
this is a
telling you,
good
like,
appliance right here.
we have boring vehicles. That looks like, from the 6 letters on the front of it, like it's gonna be a terrible ownership experience.
You will be in loaners a lot with this.
Yep.
You'll
You'll get to drive every Italian car ever made.
which is great.
Yeah, you get to buy. You can get to drive. You get this, and you can drive a 500 electric. Every Alpha, you can drive another one of these. You'll get even probably some other Chryslers and stuff.
Oh, I'm
like,
sure.
Yeah, no, you'll have a chance to
You'll
drive.
get to drive a Tonale and a
Yeah.
Giulia and
You'll get
500E.
every single Italian car because every single no dealer is ever gonna like sustain themselves selling just Lancias.
What?
They would never ever be able to do that.
No, that can't be.
I know, shockingly. But the thing is every Italian dealer is like, here's every brand in Italy except for Ferrari, all at the same dealership. And I love that because I can just cross shop everything I'm interested in, because it's a type of person that buys an Italian car. And so the thing is like, while Fiat is good now, Lancia isn't.
I mean, this is based on a 500E, so it's probably
Yeah, but it's still, you can have things that are based off of good things and
true.
still be
Oh,
bad.
100%.
Like
Look at the Thema 832, based off a very
the
good.
Sterling 8 whatever.
Oh, yeah, the
827,
Sterling.
the Sterling 827. That was based off a Honda, but it was still terrible because they had one part in it that was made by Lucas, the Prince of Darkness. Like, that's why. This has many things that are made by Lancia. Mm-hmm. That's a lot of points of failure.
Sure is.
Think about every single part on this car is the door handle from a Fiat 500.
And the window regulator. And
It's the weakest link of every Fiat.
look at these seats.
Wow, that looks great. I want
know,
that. I would
know.
like.
Look at that, like,
I
ruched
want
corduroy.
open pile cloth seats and cars again.
So look in the center stack. That looks like a giant ashtray.
Man, that could be. Maybe in Italy it is a giant
Probably
ashtray.
is just a giant ashtray.
You know, that was a center console design that was first done in the Nissan Quest, and I will give them credit for that. Second generation Nissan Quest had that same center console design, and I love that.
I'm a huge 90s fan because that's my
Yeah.
decade, but like it wasn't bad. Like the swoopy design, like we give it a lot of shit, but we came up with some good stuff.
Well, the second gen Nissan Quest was a Y2K thing. It was like the Fruitiger era.
But it still very much had
Yeah.
swoopy.
Yes, it was. But no, I like 90s things. I prefer angular and boxy because I believe that you should have truth in your design, and rounding things off is untruthful because it is
So it makes it way less practical, which is just bad.
exactly.
For everyone.
And that's why I believe in truth in design. That's why, like, when I look at cars like my 86 Subaru, I actually love the design of it because I think that cars should just be, this is a car. Here you go. You can fit things in it. Why is this square? Because square things increase your interior space.
Look at Volvo, the
Yeah.
240 that they made for like 40 years.
Yeah, it was great. And then look at every white block they've ever made ever since. Rubbish. Terrible. Not good.
I hope the 2.0 in my mother's new car is going to be okay. It should be fine.
She has a Volvo now?
She ordered it.
Oh.
I think she's picking it up in Sweden in like 2 months.
Oh, that'll be fine.
V60 T8 Polestar, really nice looking car.
Jan and I have been watching the Kingsman series, speaking of Sweden.
It's King Seaman.
Kingsman, yeah. We've been watching that series. It's a good series.
I haven't seen it.
You've never seen Kingsman? Oh, you would love
Kingsman.
Kingsman. So it's about this the secret agent. There's like secret agent company, like private secret service.
Okay.
In England is what they are, and they have they're called the Kingsmen, and they do secret agent stuff, right?
Sure.
And so the kid's like a new recruit in it, and anyway, at the end of it, it's not a spoiler at all. But
Does Lucy love it?
Yes, he does
Oh,
love it.
well then I know it's good.
At the end of it, he's like saving the world, and one of the prisoners, a Swedish princess, and she goes, "Make sure you come get me back." He goes, "I'll try." She goes, "I'll let you put it in my bum if you do." And he goes, "I'll be right back."
I mean,
It's
that's
a
a way
great
to
series.
get guaranteed return
Anyway,
business.
so they're dating in the second Kingsman movie.
I
and
wonder,
so
I
he-
wonder what happened between
Yeah, I know,
the first
right?
and the second season.
It's brilliant. And he has to meet her parents, the king and queen of Sweden. So it's quite a good series. I
Let me
highly
describe
there's,
to
like,
you my first date.
There's
with your
3
daughter.
movies. I think the 4th one they're working on, but like you would greatly enjoy the
the
series.
film's not even series?
No, they're films.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Very
Samuel L.
good. Very
Jackson's the bad guy in the first
Oh
one.
my god.
It's so good.
I'll have to torrent.
Pedro
I mean,
Pascal's
I
in
will
the-
have to legitimately watch these on services. I
Pedro
pay for.
Pascal and Jeff Bridges are in the second one.
Oh my god.
It's so good.
Ugh, I love that. Like, you know, when they cast people like that,
Yeah.
they're leaning on you already identifying them with a
Yes,
different role.
exactly, and they're nailing it. It's absolutely exact what you're expecting. It's so good.
All right, I'll have to get a reminder. For you
Yes,
at
the
some
Kingsman
point, though.
series. I'll try to message
I'm
you
not
later.
going to Google the King Seaman, but I will
Anyway,
definitely.
so Speaking of rubbish cars in America,
Yes.
I'm not betting against VinFast. You can mute this immediately.
I'm going to. I'm not even going to put it on screen until the ad's done.
Yeah, 2, 1.
Oh, man.
Skip ad.
I've had premium so long.
All right, and then just put a pause right there. So, Donut Media, for all the shit that they get, they
I like that was time-stamped to the absolute perfect spot.
I know, right? Donut Media tested a VinFast VF8 that was privately owned, so they didn't have a press car. It was like a ladies' car.
Okay.
And the reason they're testing it is they're trying to see if all the auto reviewers were correct. And they're like, about 70% of what they said was true.
Okay.
Like, people were being overly harsh.
Sure, but also there were problems.
Yeah, but there were some actual problems.
Yeah, but they were all bad.
Yeah. So they VinFast said that they fixed everything
Right.
from over-the-air updates, and so they went and retested the VF8, and it was mostly fixed. They went as far as even the new ones. Mm-hmm. They put in different suspension, so they replaced.
I see ride quality is one of the things.
Yeah, they replaced the shocks and the springs in the later ones, so they weren't over-dampened.
Okay. That's good. I mean, that's what Kia and Hyundai were dealing with that like 10 years ago.
Yeah, and so they fixed that. The never-ending chimes, they adjusted the chimes for the driver assist.
So it's a first-gen Touareg.
Yeah. They fixed the driver's assist. They fixed the laggy accelerator pedal. It was still laggy, but better. The driving aids.
Aids in quotation marks,
So-
by the way.
You could not turn without your turn signal on. Like, it literally would fight you.
That's scary.
So what it does now, instead of straight up not letting you turn without having your turn signal on, is it puts a little bit of additional tension in the steering wheel, but then lets you go. That's it.
So it's like an always-on lane keep that you can break through.
Yeah. Well, it's not like it basically it lightens up the steering wheel after a certain point if you're trying to change lanes.
That still sounds dangerous.
It's not enough to not allow you to turn, because like before you straight up couldn't. You have to fight with the car to change lanes without the turn signal on. Now it's like a reminder. It's like a gentle tug. So
they should OTA that out. That sounds like the ID4.
And that's kind of what they did, is they OTA'd it to be like this. It's better. And I know exactly how it feels, because I felt that with Subaru used to do that with their first generation of eyesight. And you can turn it off, which is good. But
Except it re-enables every time
yes,
you
it
turn
does.
it back on.
That is a thing that you have to deal with.
I was terrified when I had a Subaru loaner.
Yeah. You just have to turn everything off every time.
I did. I got really
kind
good
of
at
like.
it.
I like that. I like having. It's like driving a spaceship. You have to click a bunch of buttons and you go.
Do you need to let your car warm up? You need to let it warm up long enough to turn off everything in
Yes.
the infotainment system.
Brilliant. But anyway, so this is the thing. I'm not betting against VinFast.
Do you still hold their stock?
Yes,
Very good.
because I bought it when it's like even cheaper. Of course, I hold it, but they like fixed most of the problems. Like, it doesn't suck at all. Or it doesn't not suck at all. It certainly sucks.
There's
but
only 3 sets of quotation marks on this single image.
yeah,
Because
look at that.
two of the fixeds are in quotation marks and AIDS is in quotation marks.
Driving AIDS doesn't really help. It makes everything worse.
Oh, I think it's because it's AIDS. Like, it's that
Yeah.
bad.
So yeah, it's exactly that. And so they fixed most of it. It's getting better, and I'm here for it. To be honest, because I want VinFast to come here. I want to see more vehicles here from other countries.
Well, not only that, going back to literally the first thing you said on Carbitrage about the VF8, we need benchmark.
Yeah, you need to have a
vehicles.
bottom.
We need to have a common denominator.
Yeah, like Daewoo was great because we could actually see what a really shit car was. And like now that Daewoo doesn't exist, everybody's like, "Ho, look how bad the Mirage is." It's like it's not bad because it's small and cheap. It's just small and cheap. Bad is like it blows up immediately, and it's just not good.
Bad is
and it's
2.0
not
T.
comfortable,
Oh,
and
well, that's-
it's cheap and small, and you can't finance it very nicely, and insurance is expensive. Like, imagine a Hyundai Elantra, but worse. And that's what a Daewoo was. And we don't have that.
Not anymore.
Yeah, and now we have something like that. And I want to see more of that in America.
And it's getting fixed slowly, too.
Yeah, it's getting better. But like the thing is like even getting better, it's still like a VinFast. You're still going to have the lead acid battery from Vietnam that's going to not work.
yeah.
Like, you're still going to have problems, and I'm here for that. So,
At least to your point, they've been quite responsive and proactive thus far about
Yeah.
correcting these issues.
And I'm sure that
So-
they will completely fall apart the second they're. Hey, you have a girl named Jennifer Wills that wants to talk to you.
Wow, I'm sure she's legitimate and not a romance scammer. What do you call it? Pig butchering? Yeah.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah. Romance scams are pig butchering.
I just thought it was okay.
Anyway, doesn't matter.
I thought it was some guy in a call center is just like working for minimum wage.
Oh,
and-
it is.
Yeah.
But like the process, like gaslighting or catfishing or terms for it, that one's pig butchering.
oh, okay.
That's how you describe
Today
this
I learned.
game.
Anyway,
I briefly want to talk about something that isn't that. So we've talked about basically the Toyota influence on
Yes.
BMW, forcing them
To be
into
better.
federalizing, to federalizing a ZF German-built manual transmission for the
Yes.
goddamn powertrain. We talked about this going into the Z4. Luckily, these are now in the hands of the press, and this $3,400 cost option over the auto, which I love.
Good.
I love the fact that it costs more money because people will just spec every option just like they used to do with the SMGs,
Yep.
and they're going to end up with a better car. But it turns out it's phenomenal. And you know for a fact that everyone working in the M division is pissed off at the M division now for just making straight trash, because the commenters on the Autopian were like, there are things on this car that are not done outside of the M division ever that are on this car.
Good.
Like certain wheel and tire package things and like the
Good.
compounds and the sizes. Like, this is an M car.
good. I love that.
For the engineers that are so angry with BMW for making trash. So apparently this thing is fantastic. It is the same trans as the GR Supra, but it has a different linkage.
I saw a GR Supra on the way here today.
I'd like those.
You know, they're not Supras, but I do enjoy them as a car.
Yeah, well, fine. I do enjoy an A91 or an A90, whatever you want to call it.
It's A91, I think is what it's called. Yeah, it does.
The facelift is A91, but I think the original
They're
auto only one's A90.
A9X.
Anyway, so the Mark V quote-unquote Supra, great car.
I wish I called it a GRS.
That
would make a good name. A GRS would be a good name.
Dude, if I was in the market for basically if I didn't own a 124, I would be seriously tempted by this thing.
I don't know. German cars give me the ick. Modern German cars, I should say.
Well, I guess.
They all collectively give me the ick. There's not a single German manufacturer that I get terribly excited over anymore. And it didn't used to be like that. Like back in high school, I was gung ho for some German cars. I
No,
love Mercedes.
I'm
and
excited
stuff.
about this bit right here,
Yeah, that's fine. You can get that in a Mirage.
which they don't sell here anymore.
Yeah, that's fine. You can get that in a.
It's a new vehicle sold with a federalized manual transmission.
Yeah, that's good. I'm trying to think of a car that is silly that you can get a manual in. But anyway, they exist.
There aren't very many.
Anyway, so what I'm saying is that just German cars as a whole, they don't get me excited anymore.
No, of course not. They're clinical appliances.
Yeah, and it used to be like a clinical appliance where somebody that listened to Prodigy was involved in
yeah.
the development
A
team.
lot of drugs.
Like there's like one guy that was there that like drove.
Business suit, nose piercing and chain wallet, business suit.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's get
like,
this guy's
and
opinion.
you could spot his car in the parking lot because it's like a yellow Renault 5 Turbo with like a body kit on it and like giant like 16-inch wheels, and it was actually just the Ollie G car.
And always on underglow that's green.
Yes, like yeah, perfect.
Oh,
Like
God, I love Ollie G in the house.
yeah, so like it would just be like there's like one guy that's like an Ollie G sort of dude that worked for M Division that just made things better.
It's in the Z4 meeting. He's like, so why is that an auto?
Was that in order?
Me was trying to save time.
So I think like because I was also talking about this because at work people think that I dislike German cars, which is good. They should assume that. But we were talking about like one of my coworkers was like, I kind of want to get an R107 and rest them on it with over fenders. And everybody's like, ew, gross. I'm like, I'm here for that. And I show them a Koenig Special R107. And I'm like, that's a cool car. Like, I like German hot rods. Like, when German people actually enjoy themselves.
Also,
It's a good
R107
time.
sucks, so you may as well ruin one.
Yeah, like, that's actually a very good car. Like, I love that.
More tire? Great.
Yeah, it's a giant tire and turbocharged M117 that was on the Koenig Special. Like, it's hilarious.
Oh, yeah, they were blowing through the flapper CIS
Yeah.
thing. Like, man, it was fine.
Yeah, they just figured it out. They just made it work.
Well, they just took all the parts off the Porsche Turbo because it's the same thing.
Yeah, it's great. And so, anyway, the thing is, German cars can be cool. I just don't give Germans credit when they don't make cool things.
That's fine.
And it's like they make things that like are a relatively cool version of a not cool car, but like I don't care about the M4. Like that's
For the record, I do not either.
yeah, but like that's what everybody loves is like those M cars today. Like modern BMW, I don't care about that. But like back in the day, like I loved E36s in like the early 2000s where E46s were like cheap.
Because E36s were always terrible cars, but
And like they were also like a
that's fine.
tuner car. Like you get body kits for them and stuff. And like molded like fiberglass like spoilers and bullshit like that.
a lot of yellow.
But like the thing is
Lot of
like
yellow.
in that era, E36s were among those vehicles.
And again, they were always poorly made. So I mean,
It didn't matter.
no, but that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Worse cars are better.
Yeah, it doesn't matter it's poorly made. Like it makes it you don't feel bad about modifying it.
I'm like my 1991 M3 has semi-trailing arm rear suspension.
Hell yeah.
That car was universally lauded for having semi-trailing arm suspension. Do you know what my favorite part of the E30 is? How tail happy it is.
Yeah.
Because of the semi-trailing arm rear suspension. E36 is made like shit. Who cares?
Yeah, like it doesn't matter. Like so the thing is like I think the last new German car I cared about, like genuinely
That's
was
a good
excited
question.
for, I think would have been the new Beetle Turbo S.
And you're talking the
True,
like
true.
the
Is it-
98 new Beetle, not the,
The
new.
the 98 new Beetle.
Okay, yeah.
The Turbo S,
Yep.
which was like the 190 horsepower Audi TT engine, but you could just do a 220 horsepower like
yeah, the
bolt-on
Gaiac
thing.
Flash?
You're fine. Yeah, no big deal. But like, it came with like a different body kit on it. It's still like
I loved the wheels on
yeah,
this, too.
super cool wheels. Like ostensibly in every way a stupid thing.
It had an exposed dual exhaust.
Yeah, like it didn't need to be like that.
it's
Like it
great.
was just a stupid thing that they made, and I love that. Like that was genuinely one of the last German cars I was like, "Woo!" Like I want this because like it was like the R32 came out and that came out like about the same time. God. And like the R32 is fine except
it's
like
a terrible car. But again,
yeah, but
it's
like,
rare
it was-
and terrible, so therefore
yeah,
it's great.
and like Mark IVs were cool, but it's like after the Mark V. I think like because the Mark V came out and all the BMWs at that point had turned into Bangle cars, which I hate.
Best advertising campaign I can remember for a car, Mark V
Yeah,
GTI.
the Mark V, the Bangle BMWs, and then the CLS Mercedes all came out about the same time, and that was exactly a cutoff for me in German vehicles. Like I just didn't give a shit.
Everything in like the early noughties from the big three in Germany was awful.
Well, and early '90s was still new Beetles and stuff, but like is mid '90s was the mid like 2000s is like right when that like I'd say by 2005 it had no it's 2006 because that's when I got rid of the E46.
Correct, unless you're talking the convertible, but yeah.
But I mean, like about 2000, by 2006 was game over for like what I cared about with German cars because
98's my year for
oh,
Germany.
you know what? I guess the C63 AMG I like.
Yeah, that was 08,
Yeah,
technically.
okay, so I'll
model
give
year.
you the C63 AMG. But like that was
Also,
the
the E90 M3 is really good.
and I did like the SLR McLaren.
That was a 5.
Yeah, so I liked that.
McLaren Mercedes SLR.
Yeah, whatever.
I know. Ugh.
The Mercedes GT cars, actually to date, I like those because they're stupid.
That is one of the stupidest cars ever, yeah.
Yeah, so I
626 horsepower, M113, it'll be fine.
yeah, I like stupid cars. I think the Mercedes, even the modern ones, are still pretty dumb. So
They're just soap bars.
yeah,
It's like a Zotac 40 series GPU. They look the same.
yeah. I
Just
just
soap.
yeah, I think the Mercedes GT cars are just stupid. So those are the ones I like. But other than that, I can't really think of anything that I'm like.
Well, I mean, your first point was the last one I was excited by.
Yeah.
I like a lot of German
Yeah.
cars, but the last one I was
I
excited
like
by.
the E92s and like the E90 whatevers. Like
E92s suck, but E90s
whatever,
are
you know what I
good.
mean, like
I
the
do,
E90 generation. I like that generation, but I didn't like wake up in the morning, see one for the first time, and go, whoa, what? Like I did with a Beetle Turbo S.
I mean, you click into it, you're like, why did they put a Le Mans engine that's got 2 cylinders chopped off in a daily driver?
Yeah,
That's going to go horribly.
Yeah, and then like you drive one, you go, this is quite good. But like, and that's the thing is like you have to like drive it until you go, this is quite good. It's not like off the bat, this is sick. Like, I haven't been like that in a long time. So.
Yeah, I'm blanking on the last time I was like, I had to, like, it's probably a car magazine.
Yeah.
It's been that long.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, whoa. Probably a Phoenix Yellow A46 M3. Like, I probably saw that and I was like, whoa.
That'd be pretty cool.
Tell me more.
Well, I guess the 1M. The 1M.
Okay.
But
yeah.
the 1M is like a flash in the pan.
That car shouldn't exist.
Yeah, that was the last German car I actually went, wow, that's really cool.
Also,
and then everything else I've not cared about.
Actually that good. Which
Yes,
sucks.
it is that good. It is extremely good
Also,
vehicle.
holy shit, if we ever end up doing the 23 list, dude, like a nav, white or black, with paintwork 1M.
Didn't we did the beer bowl list.
Bare bowl, yeah. But not like the year-end, like...
Oh, yeah, shit, I forgot to do that.
Doesn't
I
matter.
kept bumping that back because I thought we'd already
Well,
done
it got re-added, so it doesn't matter.
Anyway,
We'll talk about that later.
I keep pushing it back.
But like a non-desirable spec and condition 1M.
Yeah.
Like you can get one of those for like 40 or 45 grand. Like buy that car.
Yeah.
Buy and drive it into the ground. Like it's so good.
Yeah, no, it's mileage agnostic. It's still going to be a great car because there's always going to be more people that
And
want
if you
that.
buy one that's already had paintwork, you can keep crashing it. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's
one
fine.
paintwork is the same as 10 paintwork.
Get the worst possible functioning driving 1M you can get.
Get a white. Well, actually, no. You're gonna get a black, high mileage, nav, power seat, no heated seat, comfort access 1M.
Yeah, that's the worst one.
It's the worst one,
Yep.
and it's still gonna drive like a 1M.
Yeah, you're still going to have a whole lot of fun.
Yep. So anyway, sorry, that's a huge.
So speaking
tangent,
of good cars,
Yes.
the NSX has perennially come back, and it's always done something new. The second generation NX is kind of the sophomore album. However, now that concept I showed you of that
the really
that
cool,
Honda
like, minivan looking
saloon thing,
Yeah.
apparently the underpinnings of that have something to do with a new NSX coming out.
Which means it's going to be ruthlessly innovative.
Yep. So
and
this
possibly interesting.
an all EV NSX is going to be the next one. And
I mean, good.
that's going to be a hoot and a half because I think the problem with being a hybrid for the second generation NSX is EV people didn't care and the petrol people didn't care. Nobody cared.
It was a technological tour de force, and it was boring because of it.
That well, it was also that era of Honda where they could make literally anything boring. So
I wonder if that had the rod bearing issue like all the other Accords and things.
yeah, probably actually because I think it had the same engine.
main bearings.
If you scroll down here, I actually keep going down. There is a current Honda that's being sold that is quite good. Scroll down a little bit more. The Honda Amaze. Look at that. Click on it.
Go ahead and click on this.
This is a great vehicle. This is the Honda equivalent of a Mirage. I'm sorry, dude. It's Autocar India. Well, hang on. That you just clicked on that first one. Now, if you scroll down, it'll tell you about the car.
Smooth CVT thumbs up.
It has a CVT option for the diesel. But if you scroll back up, stop.
Up. Manual.
Manual option.
Excellent.
And it's 7.94 lakh rupees, which I'm gonna see what that is.
1199 cc's of engine. Oh, they don't like average sound insulation or misses features?
Yeah, it costs $9,500, and it comes with a manual and a 1.1 liter engine that makes 90 horsepower. That is a Honda Mirage, and it looks like a tiny Accord.
Yes.
I love that front end.
Why?
It works so well on
It
that.
works
It's
a lot better
so
than the
cute.
Accord.
So if you just Google Honda Amaze, Honda Amaze, and then images, you'll find a billion of them.
Working on it.
That was the first generation, which was
That doesn't
adorable.
look very amazing,
but it was
though.
still adorable. But yeah, it's a great car. There's a Wikipedia article about it. At
I
the
know.
top.
I was looking for like an actual.
There's
There's an
one.
actual one.
Huh.
There
we go.
Copy image.
Oh no, just open image. Right click, open image in new tab.
Literally the same thing.
No, it's different because copy image will copy the thumbnail.
Would you look at the exact same result for me pasting the thing I just copied into another tab? Anyway, look at this glue guy.
It's so good.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good car.
Is he doing a driver's test in a parking lot?
I imagine.
It
yes.
looks like that's what he's doing.
It's very
He's having a
cute.
great time, though.
Yeah, that's a happy car.
He's just like amazed.
So, Honda being just the way they are, I'm pretty sure you could put a L8 or L15B into that.
Oh, I'm sure.
And have quite the ripper.
Certified.
Certified.
It's a crankshaft away from performance parts.
It is a certified ripper. That would be great. I wonder what engine's in it.
Put one of those little L series superchargers on it. That's got like the four.
No,
tooth
the
bells.
L15B is the.
Oh, out of the Civic Sport.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so the L15B, like, that's actually the good one, and the L15B, like, will go into, like, CRZs and stuff.
Very good.
The engine it is an L12.
Perfect.
So you can literally just bolt it in.
You can make 600 horsepower out of it.
That would be
problem.
hilarious.
Oh my god.
Honda Amaze with an L15 would be incredible.
Do they make a hatch version of the Amaze?
Nope, it's just a sedan.
Okay, that's fine. I like sedans.
Yeah, I know you like sedans, but it's designed to be is for literally made for the Indian market. It's made in Rajasthan.
I love it.
Yeah, the first generation was also made in Indonesia, I think. But Thailand. It was made in Thailand and
This
India.
car just did what the Tata Nano tried to do incorrectly.
Yeah, it just made a good, small, cheap car. They're also sold in South Africa.
And desirable.
This is sold in countries that I like cars to be sold in. Because I don't want cars that are made for the U.S. market. I want a car made for the South African market,
This
for
is-
the Indian market.
Going to be carjack resistant too, so you'll be able to insure it, unlike your Hyundai.
It weighs full weight, CVT, every option that you can get, 2,293 pounds.
God damn.
That is a successor to an EK Civic. That is very similar performance to an EK Civic.
Especially with an L15B swap and a Flash.
So, all right. So actually, the one you want to get, the most powerful stock one, is the N15A1 D-Tech turbo diesel. Makes 99 horsepower and 148 pound-feet of torque
I can get a diesel one?
with a manual. So the CVT comes in the diesel's usually CVT, but you can get a manual diesel that's more powerful. And that's the most powerful version you can get is a manual diesel one.
Amaze.
Yes. That is Amaze.
What a great car. Man, I think we might have to add the Amaze to our
This might
Carbitrage sheet thing.
This
Save
is quite
image.
good.
All right,
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and save this. Amaze.
It is quite Amaze.
Pictures. Save. Can I save it as a JPEG? No, I cannot. All right, fine, whatever. WebP it is. Wow.
They also make a tiny crossover based off this platform called the BRV. And there's also the WRV, which are the crossover versions. So
Not interested.
yeah.
Couldn't be bothered.
Nobody can be bothered with that. But I like to know that means, I wonder, because if they make a all-wheel drive version,
Oh, well, they probably do.
is it front-wheel drive only or is it all-wheel drive?
I mean, the HRV I know is
Front-wheel
all-
drive only. Fuck. Okay, never mind. Yeah,
I was going to say, I'm not aware of a system that would be, in production from one of their vehicles of that size,
HRV.
but that's got to be smaller.
Well, the HRV is independent axles, and
Right.
it just has
Oh,
the
I've seen
coolest
the
twist beam in the
ridiculous-
world. Yes,
Well, it's absurd, but okay.
it's a very cool twist beam.
The all-wheel drive component, I'm interested in. The crossover component, I'm not interested.
Well, no, the twist beam axle is what you would use in a Fit as well.
I understand, but you actually have to have the component sized for it, right? And I think the HRV is a bigger vehicle than the Amaze.
Yeah, but the thing is, the twist beam could just shorten it, I imagine.
Yeah.
But the thing is, if you were to say all-wheel drive swap a Fit, you need to have. Because actually, no, the Fit does have a twist beam, and the Fit would have that same.
Right, but you still need custom axles,
No,
right?
there is an all-wheel drive Fit in
Oh,
Japan.
yeah.
You can get a 1.3 liter all-wheel drive Fit.
That's ridiculous.
So, since the first generation of Fit, you had an all-wheel drive, independent, kind of independent, like where you had like axles and a differential and a
torsion
twist
beam is very
Yeah.
much not independent, but it's very impressive they were able to get a diff behind it.
Well, what they do is they twist the torsion beam over the axle.
I've seen it. It's
And
ridiculous.
It's absolutely silly.
Every time since we've covered that, I've looked under the back of HRVs.
It's
and
pretty
like,
much just a Dadion tube. Like it's very close to being a Dadion tube, which is my favorite suspension.
Wow.
Anyway, let's talk.
I'm fine. Everything is fine.
Dadion tubes are the best cars.
They are, and they're better because they're worse.
Yes, but they make like an Alfa Romeo Spider would be worse without a Dadion tube.
100%, because the alternative would be ox cart wooden leaf springs or something.
Yeah,
So-
no, it'd be much worse. And I'm trying to remember exactly which cars have it.
While you look that up, I want to end this
Yes.
episode's topic list anyway with kind of.
Here, I already found it.
Oh, okay.
Maserati Quattroporte.
The first gen?
Yes. Auto Union Type D. Alpha Alfetta, GT, GTV6, GTV, Giulietta, 690, 75, Milano, SC, and RC all had Dadion rear ends.
I'm surprised it's not like the Alpha, or no, what was it? The Maserati Biturbo, where they had like 50 models that were the exact same car. Look all these cars it was used in. I'm like, dude, that's one car.
It's just one car. Well, that's what the Quattroporte is.
Say,
Yeah.
Literally all of those are the exact same platform.
All of the good Aston Martins from 1967 to 1989. Actually, all Aston Martins from 67 to 89.
Amazing.
Yep.
Amazing.
Yeah, the Daffodil.
The DAF has one?
Yes.
I love the Dadion Tube even more now.
All of the ESO cars, the ESO Revolta, Grifo, Fida, Lele.
Even back in the 50s?
Yes. Chrysler minivans from 1991 to 2004 had Dadion tubes.
So what you're saying.
Rover P6, Volvo 300, Mazda Cosmo. Like, these are actually cool cars. Recent vehicles. Here are cars made after the year 2000 that had a Smart 4.2, a Mitsubishi i-Mive,
Oh my God, of
Caterham
course.
C7, or
No
the Caterham
way.
7, yep.
Cool.
The Ford Ranger EV has one. That's the Mitsubishi Fuso Canter, which is the Mitsubishi truck.
Yes.
They all have that. So I am really happy to know that the Mitsubishi Fuso trucks have the same
Canter.
They have the exact same suspension as a Lotus 7,
And an ISO Revolta.
which means that you can drive a Mitsubishi Fuso as angrily as you would drive a Caterham 7.
Oh, it means it's a legit race car.
Yes, it is.
Dadion Tube, race car.
Yep.
Everyone, you are now to synonymize those two words.
Also, it was used in the Ferrari 312T,
I don't even know what that is.
the 1970s Ferrari F1 cars,
Oh,
the 312s.
I see.
Yes.
Well, that would explain why I don't know what it is. It's a Formula One car.
Well, it's the Formula One car that Niki Lauda drove.
Well, I didn't know that was a Ferrari.
I think he had a Ferrari.
Well, I don't take
Anyway.
your word for it. I don't follow
Actually,
Formula
yes,
One.
it was. In fact, the photo on Wikipedia is of Niki Lauda's actual car. So that has a
Excellent.
Dadion tube. It's a very cool suspension system. So Niki Lauda could just drive a Mitsubishi Fuso with the same suspension system.
It's nice to know that he can get a post-millennium, newer-ish vehicle
Yes,
with a
he could.
Dadion Tube.
Yes. Anyway,
I
sorry.
want to talk about bad things that happened in the year 2000.
Okay.
General Motors ruined the entire world by making quote-unquote luxury SUVs. It is now the 25th anniversary of the Cadillac Escalade and the Yukon Denali. The first gen was only like 2 years.
I think
in the GMT 800.
What bothered me about these is that they were lazy.
Oh, do you mean they changed literally nothing but several body panels and putting slightly different seats and steering wheels in it?
Yeah.
But it
Because-
had a VCR, I'm sure.
Sometimes if you had like the fully spec'd out version, but like there were previously luxury SUVs that were good, like a Lexus LX. Like a Land Cruiser is basically a luxury vehicle by the time you got to high spec. So that's why they just made the Lexus LX, and they made the Lexus GX, which is a
Certainly
Pareto.
expensive enough.
Yeah, but like the base model Land Cruiser is like, yeah, that's a farm truck. The fully loaded Land Cruiser is a luxury vehicle. So, like, yeah, I get the Lexus. That makes sense. Like, obviously, the G-Wagons that came here, the AMG G-Wagons, are totally luxury vehicles.
Yeah.
The Lamborghini LM002, the La Forza.
Well, I don't know if the LM002 was luxury, but at the time it might have been considered luxury.
Totally. Yeah, absolutely. At the time. Well, you have to also consider all of this as of the time.
Yeah.
La Forza.
God, what a great name for such a horseshit vehicle.
Shit, what are you talking about?
It's pretty bad.
That was great.
Well, I mean, it's just like the size of several vehicles, which is great.
Actually, they're quite small.
Are they? What?
They're not much bigger than a XJ Cherokee, and they have a Mustang V8.
Fair enough.
Which
The
in
pictures
the era,
just make them look
they look
extremely
huge. Yeah. So the reason I know it is Darren has a neighbor that has one.
I'm sorry, they actually exist. That's
Yeah.
kinda great.
Yeah. No, he actually like drives a La Forza as a vehicle. And so like they look really, really big, but they're
Do
not.
they have solid front axles?
I assume.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's probably why they're good, Ryan. Because bringing this back to the whole thing we talked about last time.
They're more good because they're more bad.
Yes. Well,
Yeah.
and if you're going to have an SUV like this, it needs to have a solid front axle, and these do not.
Yeah, that's true. That is exactly true. I'm trying to find a picture of a La Forza next to a vehicle, but like
I bet
they're
it's tough.
it's very difficult to find actually. Here we
Great
go.
name though.
I found one with a Mustang barely in the photo.
I mean, barely counts.
Yeah, but it does count, so you can get a sense of scale slightly.
Pull it up here.
I'm pulling it up here, so
All right, scroll down.
it just put it right there.
I see
Forza.
it. I see it.
You can see there's a Mustang right there. It's not much bigger than the Mustang.
That's fair.
It's the
It
size
just-
of a vehicle.
I think it's the bolt pattern that really throws me on the scaling
the
on
silly
those.
bolt pattern, yeah. But like, also Isuzu Troopers, like the Acura SDX, like that was a luxury truck. Like that was a much
God,
better
I forgot
Trooper.
about those. Than the Passport too. But
Yeah, but like those,
I thought it was SLX.
whatever it was. But the Acura version of the Trooper was actually an upgraded Trooper. Like they gave you a much better interior.
Oh yeah, it was the SLX.
Yeah, it's SLX. Yeah.
I
So that
saw
actually-
one of those once, and I'm like, you
here,
have to be
click
kidding
on that
me.
YouTube thumbnail. You don't click into the video. No, right there. I'm just looking at that.
Yeah,
click
but
it.
it's
Just
gonna
click,
click- it's
it
gonna
won't-
click into YouTube.
No, click it. Look, it's right there. Don't touch it. It's Tyson. Oh, it's Tyson. And Tyson Hughes is a really cool guy.
Excellent.
I actually know him personally.
New
He's-
leather interior.
But like those are actually nice interiors. But when you got the Escalade, the first generation Escalade, it was literally just if you got a high spec Tahoe, you could easily get a Tahoe that's better than the Cadillac.
I think the same. I mean,
No,
they're
you
not
could
changing up there.
if you got the
The big thing was the wood grain steering wheel.
if you got like a Tahoe Limited, you wouldn't have these bits on it,
Right.
but you could get like
Oh God, look at that.
I guess that was a square body, so it doesn't really work.
Ugh, these were a GMT 800. But yeah, no, I remember the big thing was it had wood grain on the interior, but like it was quite literally a Suburban.
Yeah, it was literally just a Suburban. They didn't do anything and that's not to say Suburbans are bad. I like Suburbans. Like
But
they have a place.
Not luxury vehicle.
No, and like you should. I just hate it when because like all the Escalade has ever been its entire history is just a gaudy version of a Tahoe.
And people treat it as a status symbol.
It's not a status symbol. No,
It is for that entire group of people. Somehow internally, they were and are acknowledged as status symbols. The only thing good I see here in this interior is the Toyota ball vent.
the ball vent is
The ball vent is good, but I mean that's a straight out of Toyota thing. That's just copying.
I think that's also in the Suburban.
It might be, but it came from Toyota, for sure.
But yeah, no, this truck doesn't do anything. for me. That
I
sucks.
hate it, and I think that it did a disservice to the entire car community.
My least favorite thing about Escalades are
No, but
they
I'm
have
curious.
they have given us all sorts of shitbox Tahoes with the Escalade taillight conversions that are the
Oh.
entire D pillar all the way down to the bumper.
Yep.
And they're always the worst version of that truck. It's always this. It's like the same kind of truck on like bald mud tires.
Oh yeah.
And like the rear, like you cannot put it in 4-wheel drive because like the tires have never ever been rotated, and the back tires are totally bald, and the fronts are brand new.
The wheels and tires don't match. This
Yeah,
is
they don't.
basically Modi's Escalade.
Yeah, and like there's always like a crumpled fender, there's rust on it. It's like how do you have rust on a 10-year-old car? Like
And they're
they figured it
GMT.
out.
They're all GMT 900s too. None of them are the later GMT FM2s, which the Cadillac version was on the newer platform.
Was that when they went to the independent front suspension?
They always had IFS, but no, this is the gen before the IRS.
Are you sure about that?
Quite sure. But the 2015 era Escalade is what those taillights were, and all of the conversion kits you see are on like the 2008 Tahoe.
I'm double checking that the front suspension is independent on that. I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, I don't even think the first gen Escalade had a 5-axle. Pretty confident those have all been IFS.
Oh. Wait.
Even the HD pickups were IFS, so there's no way this thing was a live front axle.
Front suspension on all-wheel drive was solid axle in the first generation, at least.
On the first gen Escalade, GMT
Yes.
800.
Yes. That did have solid front suspension. If you had
That's
all-wheel
actually
drive.
kind of cool.
If you had an all-wheel drive version. So I can't say anything about front-wheel drive, but all-wheel drive.
Rear, you mean?
What? Sorry, you know what I mean. Yeah,
I do.
two-wheel drive. But I mean, like, that's the thing is, like, even then, it doesn't make up for the rest of the truck. Like, it's not like it doesn't actually get better to a point in which it's actually like something desirable.
I don't know where you're finding, but the front diff is definitely IFS.
Can you?
Yeah, let me pull that up.
I just typed in.
I pulled up a 99 Escalade front differential to see if it was an axle, but it's clearly got stub axles. So these have all been IFS.
Type in 99 front 99 Escalade front suspension diagram.
Let's see here, suspension diagram. Images.
Try 4x4. Make sure you have 4x4 in there, because these are not accounting for provisions for an axle. Where is Tucker when we need him? That's the photo I saw.
Okay, yeah, the sway bar, but sure, yeah, I see that. Steering dampers. Yeah, I just went straight for the differential because that's gonna tell me auto part status wise. So that's definitely a stub axle diff. But anyway, no, these were always independent front suspension on Escalades anyway.
I'll have to. I know with two-wheel drive, that's for sure. But like, it's also two-wheel drive. Obviously, you're not gonna have an I-beam two-wheel drive truck in the year 2000.
All right. But I mean, I think that was part of their claim to fame, is like this was always more comfortable than the live axle. Even they got so much flack for this.
97 to 2000 front differential carrier, but that was still
right. It's the same thing.
I don't have enough. I can't be bothered to care.
And of course, look, it's out of a Tahoe.
Yeah, I can't be bothered to care.
I like that they put Escalade on here just to get more money out of it, and it still hasn't sold, and it's only $220.
Lovely.
And yeah, who cares? I hate that vehicle.
Yeah,
I hate it so much.
Escalades do nothing for me. I'm trying
they're problematic.
I'm trying to find like a world in which I want an Escalade, and it's like, even let's say I was looking for a V8 LS powered luxury truck.
Well, that narrows it down certainly.
In that world, a Saab 97X Aero, it still exists.
So much better.
It's infinitely better. And I'm like, okay, but I don't want Saab props. I'm like, okay, a Trailblazer SS.
No, Buick Rainier V8. I mean.
Yeah, like actually, that's the plug, because I love Buick.
Did they make an Ascender with the V8? Because I know that was a Trailblazer, but I wonder if they ever did the V8. You could also get like an H3 Alpha or a Colorado with the 5.3. Like, you could get an SSR.
You could get an Ascender with a V8.
No, that's the plug right there, boys.
Yeah, no, I still would want the LL8.
Me too, but...
So yeah, you could get a 2003 through 2007 Ascender.
Oh my God, you could get the aluminum 5.3. That's amazing.
Yep, that's pretty cool.
Wow, what a terrible vehicle.
2005 through 2007 was displacement on demand, so I would definitely take an LL8 over that.
Oh yeah, because lifters...
Yep, don't want that.
How do they work? GM completely forgot the first 60 years of small block design with DOD.
That. Yeah.
It's V8 6.4 bad, if you guys aren't aware.
Yes, no, it is.
DOD engines...
It's a slightly better V8 6.4.
The entire cam train is complete garbage made out of Play-Doh, and it will immediately eat into itself and die unless you disable DOD and replace lifters. So, anyway.
So, I can't imagine a world in which I want an Escalade, and it's just like the worst thing the best thing I can say is, I think if you got like an Escalade EXT, you could get a 4L80E. I think that's if you got the big honking
the ESV.
boy.
I can't remember.
If you got the suburban based one, I think
the ESV, which only came in that was 06 plus. All Escalades prior to that were short wheelbase.
Yes, I know.
Which is wild.
Yeah, it's very strange.
I think there were still 4L65s up until they went to the GMT 800.
I would just get that.
But anyway, if you want an Escalade, just buy this.
Yeah,
that's
get that, or let's put up the actual. The desirable one, a Saab 97X Aero. It has specifically the Aero.
I know. Because it had the 6-liter and the really nice wheels.
Yes, and actually a substantially improved interior. Yeah, that's a machine.
I really still love how these look, but I know that it's a GMT 350 under it, so it's like, well. But if you're going to buy a Trailblazer SS,
I like the Trailblazer platform. There's not a Trailblazer I dislike.
Oh, it's fine. The transmissions are just really bad.
Yeah, but I mean, like, you just take the transmission out and you replace it with literally any other GM transmission. Because from my understanding, the transfer case just bolts into where the center differential bolts into where the transfer case would be.
That I have no idea.
So you can literally just swap between other like 4L transmissions. So you
I'm
get
sure
you
somebody's
got to take the 4L60 and put it 80.
Let's be real. The controllers are
And-
probably the same even on the 6-speed, so you could probably get a 6L90 and throw that in there.
I mean, I would still just do no.
Solved. NV4500 out of the Silverado. They sold those with 4-wheel drive. Manual. Done.
Yeah, perfect. I would also just want to keep it automatic because the only thing I'd be doing with this is towing things and drag racing. So,
Fine.
Yeah.
I'll have the manual one.
yeah, you have the manual one. I'll have my automatic one. That just works better.
So we're in search of two
Actually,
9.7 arrows.
I'm perpetually in search of a running, absolutely shitted, with a good transmission, Trailblazer 6-cylinder.
Okay.
Preferably, I think 07 is the best year.
Because they had the new engine with the different reluctor or something else.
Can't remember, but
There was mechanical changes, I know.
Yeah, there's some I think 07 was the best year. I can't remember the exact details, but anyway, any Trailblazer that's shitted and running, and just the rest of the truck's bad, because I need the engine and transmission out of it.
Okay. I'm not going to
all I
ask
need.
any follow-up
But
questions.
for the Cressida.
Oh, okay.
Because I want to do an LL8 swap in the Cressida.
Then yes, you want the 07 Plus because it has the different reluctor and the newer computer,
Yes,
which
that's
you
what
can
it
use
is.
the
Yep.
FI Live on.
There we go. Thank you.
Yep.
You know that. off
I've
the top
done a
your
lot
head.
of research
Yes.
on the LL8.
I would like to, because I want to do an automatic LL8 because I'm like, I want to have like, I basically would like a small body LS400, which is be a Cressida effectively.
Yeah.
And like 1UZs are like kind of getting expensive for what they can actually output. So I think an LL8 is probably the best move because it's an Isuzu engine. So
Man,
it's like
a straight six. Man.
it's an inline six.
It's
It
such
fit-
a big straight
it
six.
fits
Too. It's
in.
like
It-
Jag size.
Yeah, it fits in place. It makes the right sounds. Like I'm pretty here for it. I think that'd be like a really good move.
Yes.
That'd be quite a good.
Trust
sounding
me, I've been
car.
on the fence for LL8 swapping something for a long time. I get
I think
it.
the Cressida's the right car
It probably is.
because like that car is like it's supposed to be just a grandpa car. It's a comfy grandpa car. Like I was considering putting a manual in it, and like it'd be better for it, but it would lose what it is. I like it as the Cressida. I just want a Cressida without a 7M. I want a reliable MX-83. That's what I'd like. Because the rest of the car, I love. It's perfect. The one part that I hate, I want gone. So, LL8.
Yeah, and I'm not going to recommend the OBD1 BMW engine, even though that's definitely the way to go, because of the automatics that were offered at that time,
Yeah.
being the French-built General Motors 4L30E.
And so that's actually the thing, is I was thinking about other
Oh,
cars, and I'm like,
because those run with 3 wires. Like, those are great.
and it seemed like, well, because they make A340E rebuild kits for performance. I'm like, I could just do like a JZ swap. Like, no, all JZ engines are stupidly expensive. And
Yeah.
an LL8 is just like,
Free.
yeah. And they make the same noise. They have the same firing order. They have the same cam placement. The LL8 does have a smaller cam in it, but
They,
they
still
make
like 300 horsepower. so
there's
it's fine.
different cams that you can get. You can really wake them up with aftermarket camshafts. So, and like,
We like the LL8.
if I were to get an LL8, I'd want to do the timing chain before I put it in the car
No way, why?
because I don't trust timing chains.
Oh, yeah, no, they're
Yeah.
problematic.
I don't trust them.
Especially because the maintenance on this shitted out Trailblazers,
Will have not been done. So I'm like,
it's going to be an Envoy, let's be real.
yeah. And so like, it's just gonna be like the worst possible Trailblazer that functions.
Delicious.
And so yeah, I just need the engine out of it, the engine and transmission. Like, preferably I want one like if I get one that's like compromised by rust, so like I know the rest of the car runs. It's just that it's physically unsafe to drive.
It's going to, bald tires, the ABS is going to not be working. You're going to find one with front end damage that's running.
Well, that's the promise. I don't want front end damage. Actually, because those aren't worth anything. Like a cracked headlight pretty much totals them out at this point.
Yeah, like I'm not saying like cooling system damage or it overheated. I'm just
Yeah.
saying like, hey, the entire front clip needs replaced.
Or like you got T-boned or the rear end
That's
rolled
really the-
over or something. Well, maybe not roll over.
Maybe not rolled. T-boned is ideal.
T-boned, rear-ended, something that I can drive to my driveway and yank the engine out in my half driveway, call up like
Cash for cars.
Cash for
whatever.
clunkers, any auto donation shop, donate the rest of the chassis so it's not my fucking problem. And then let her rip. And then take that engine and stuff it in my Cressida. That's all I want to do.
Just
It'd be very,
the
very
big
simple.
automotive stapler, get her done.
Yeah. And actually, the swaps are not hard because all the wiring
Straight
is...
six.
Well,
and also, yeah, the GMT.
So the thing is, like, I was actually considering wiring. That's why I didn't want to do BMW engine because it's a wiring nightmare.
Why?
But,
It's 3 wires.
I know, but it's you have to, like, disassemble harnesses and stuff, and to get like all the factory gauges working and everything.
Oh, that could be.
Yeah, it's a pain in the ass. But this one is just it's just like doing an LS swap. It's literally
It's the same computer. Yeah.
it's the same computer. There's all the LS swap like peripheral shit that you can get for a Cressida already.
The shelf CAN interpolator modules that
Yeah.
just have analog outputs for things.
Exactly. Like that's great. I love that. And I could just put that in the Cressida.
All the
and make it
benefit of
work.
an LS with none of the drawback of having an LS.
Well, also LSs aren't cheap anymore.
Well,
It
truck
costs
motors
some
still
money.
cheap, but
Well, I mean, they still cost some money.
even like I think I told you about this, but like a regular K24 now, if you want one with less than 200K on it, is like $1,000 engine.
Yeah.
For an A3, like
Yeah.
a CRV engine, they're not cheap anymore.
No, you need to do an LL8 because also LL8's inline 6. You don't have to do weird exhaust shit. Like the exhaust is where it's supposed to be.
They sound pretty good too. if
They
you open
do
them up.
sound quite good when you open them up. So
We agree. LL8 is good.
yep, LL8 and the Cressida. All right,
Thanks everybody.
see you next time.
Bye.